Alright everyone, so today we'll be discussing an 8 marks question of AS Economics. So in one of my previous videos of 8 marks, I've already told about the structure of the question, but let's discuss it briefly. So in 8 marks question, there are 3 marks for knowledge that includes your definition, your examples, and your diagrams and others, and there are 3 marks for analysis, which includes your cause, effect, and consequence, and there are 2 marks for evaluation, which also includes your conclusion. Alright, so the question is, with the help of a formula, explain what is meant by income elasticity of demand for a product and consider the extent to which demand for the product will always rise at the same rate as the income of its consumers. So first of all, for knowledge, you'll give the definition of YD, define YD, and give a formula which will give you 2 marks of knowledge. And then you have to give your classifications like normal versus inferior, and when elastic and when inelastic. Alright, so we know normal good means YD is positive and inferior good means YD is negative. So after that you go for the analysis part and what it have to do for analysis. So the question is saying consider the extent to which demand for the product will always rise at the same rate as the income of its consumers. So we know if the good is a normal good, first thing is that when income, you can write income with Y. When income rises, the demand also rises. That is why it is positive. And for inferior, when income rises, the demand falls. So this is one thing that you must remember. Then for normal good, you will go for elastic and inelastic. If elastic, the demand will rise by more, and if inelastic, demand will rise but by less. And same then you will also tell about inferior, like for inferior, if elastic, demand will fall by much more, while if inelastic, the demand will fall but by less. And if YD is equals to 0, there will be no effect in demand. You can also give examples so that it will help you get more marks, not like more marks, but it will support your answer. And you can also say that if whether in normal or inferior, if the YD is equals to 1, or for inferior you can say -1, there will be an equal change. You can make the triangle for a change, but not in exams. Equal change in demand as of income. So for analysis you can mention all these things. Now comes the part for the evaluation. For evaluation, you can, first of all, I might say that you'll say that it depends upon the sign, because the sign will decide whether the demand is going to rise or the demand is going to fall. So first of all, you'll say it depends upon the sign and coefficient. As you can see, the coefficient will decide whether elastic or inelastic, or whether there will be any impact or not, or equal impact or more impact. So first of all you have to mention both of these things, but you also have to tell about some limitations of YD, and that is that there might be some inaccuracy. And why there can be inaccuracy? Because YD is an estimate. All the elasticities are an estimate, and they can be wrong due to some statistical errors, some time lags, and because it is based on your average results, not individual results. So for like a good which is a normal good for you, it can be inferior for someone else who is way too much rich, like Elon Musk. So you cannot just say that demand is always going to rise for normal goods and always going to fall for inferior goods, because it is still based upon the average data. A good that is normal for you can be inferior for others, due to which you cannot just rely upon the elasticities, because these are based upon the average data. These are an estimate, so there can be some inaccuracy. So you can also write that firms must not only rely upon must not only rely on knowledge of YD. Well, this is not that important. You can even get your marks without this line, but you have to discuss these two things. This one is really important, and this one can give a counter argument that okay, everything that I said was correct, but there are some limitations that can make those statements wrong as well, because everything that I said was based upon the average data, not individual data. So that is it for now. I hope you understood how to write an 8 marks question, and you also understood the marking scheme of this. And for now I cannot give you a sample answer, but I hope you can write it on your own. So till then, take care.